Yo, how's my mic? How we doing, y'all? Y'all ready for absolutely no news? Let me bring this up a little bit. Audio's good, y'all?
Yep.
All right. Good stuff. Pretty good. Sean retweeted. Uh-oh. That's good news. Sean, I think L Plays is streaming on his own. So, me, one other, I think one or two of the other No Man's Sky streamers / YouTubers are doing this live. All right, folks. Let's get ready to do this thing. As y'all can see, my daughter is joining me. Say hello. I'm so hyped, y'all. This is going to be soul-crushing disappointment. So for those of y'all that don't know, that was a this is really good, actually. That Matt, Xbox Addict, was a really good community member of the Xbox family who passed away here just recently, suddenly. So lots of props.
Today on Inside Xbox, we survive the zombie apocalypse by the skin of a bloater's teeth with all things State of Decay 2. Well, except Larry. He gets ripped in half.
That's actually true. I saw it. And we've got the latest campfire scuttlebutt for Sea of Thieves' first major update, a PUBG announcement, and a couple of brand new reveals for
These
Forza
folks are so
Motorsport 7.
overpronounced.
Plus, Sean Murray will be stopping by from Hello Games.
Sean Murray's
Why you
there?
and your friends should be excited for No Man's Sky on Xbox One. Plus, our friends at 343.
The man, the
Master Chief
myth.
Collection update and more.
Has come out of hiding.
And we have a proper deep dive on one of the most critically acclaimed games this generation, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh boy.
This is Inside Xbox. You didn't say that I had died. Why?
He's like there. All right, so this is going to be way more than just a simple, here's a look at the box art.
Welcome to Inside Xbox. I'm Larry here of Xbox Live's Major and Elsalon. Graham Boyd, Jeff Rubenstein,
Sean Murray
Ricari
shouldn't leave his
Austin,
house.
Alex
Hell
Aiden.
no.
Hunker down, gather
needs
your
retribution,
supplies,
fam.
and brace yourself for our biggest, fastest episode yet.
Yep, we're talking State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, PUBG, Master Chief Collection, Forza Motorsport 7, I'm Out of Fingers, No Man's Sky, Divinity Original Sin 2, and a behind-the-scenes look at the just-announced Xbox Adaptive Controller and what it took to bring this amazing project to life.
Plus
Wow.
a couple of fun surprises along
He's going
the
to
way
moon
that
us
are
all and
just,
say, new moons announced. I'll take
Speaking
that.
of tasty treats, we've got a gruesomely delectable feast waiting for you at the end of the show. Our real-life State of Decay 2 escape room experience. We stuck
State
some
of
of our
Decay
favorite
escape
internet
room
personalities in
experience.
cages,
That
blindfolded them, and
does
gave
not
them set
sound
challenges
exciting
to
at
see
all.
how they would fare
No
when
Man's Sky right
zombies
at the
roam
end? Oh,
Earth.
boy.
And spoiler alert, surviving is
I'm
not for
surprised they're
everyone.
doing this
Now,
stuff,
in just a moment,
and
we've
we're
got some
simply a
news for
month
Sea of
away
Thieves'
from
first
E3. Like,
expansion,
why
The
are we doing
Hungering
this?
Deep,
So
plus
close.
a desert date you don't want to miss for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But first, Alex, Rukari, you had a chance to actually see and experience the State of Decay escape room experience. How was it? Clean, tidy, filled with treats?
I'm going to tell you this. Some of us saw it, others did not. Isn't that right, Alex?
I got to watch from the outside looking in.
Alex was late. I'm going to
Yeah, but guess what? Guess
Little
what,
cheesy.
Project Runway? I got to watch you try to figure out how to get out of
We
a
might
room.
have
And
to,
it took
Nick.
forever.
We might
It was
have
All
to.
you
actually-
did was play dress up.
Well, yeah, that's
Save
what
the
you're
best for
supposed to do.
last,
They
I
had
say.
lab coats that we could wear, and I decided to shoot my shot and look as good as I could while trying to escape that room. You hear that noise too?
Oh, God.
That's exactly what was ringing in my ears.
It's
the
so
entire
cringy.
time. Sirens. It was
Primal
absolutely
Haze, don't be
scary.
coming up on my chat with that
It was fun.
Xbox
I got to
boo.
watch the whole thing, so
It was actually
Come on,
kinda
man. We're
challenging
all
realizing
gamers
that we had to
here.
work together as a
None of
team
that
and not
console
worry
war
about being
bullshit.
really, like a team that didn't like blast each other on live stream.
The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. We're just gonna throw
I love
that
my
one out
Halo
there.
I
5
can't believe
machine.
this one didn't work out for you guys.
Now, of course, we want to hear from you, the community, so keep the conversation going at #InsideXbox. And in honor of the zombie apocalypse, we'll be giving away copies of State of Decay 2
everybody.
throughout the entire show.
Thanks for joining, by the way.
And again, use that #InsideXbox for a chance to win. Now, Grant, you look like you are itching over there with some news. What's going on?
Yeah, I think I got a bit of a zombie nibble last night in State of Decay 2, but I'm sure it's fine.
Oh, God.
No,
Don't
my
do this.
friends, when Sea of Thieves set sail just 2 short months ago, we began the first stages of our grand pirate adventure together.
Hey, it's the other
Braved
No Man's
fierce
Sky.
storms, explored sunken ships,
Sea of Thieves.
battled the mysterious Kraken, and faced the most cunning, persistent, and dastardly foes of all, each other. We've shared stories of epic treasure hauls, daring escapes, and truth be told, despairing defeat. Forced to witness fellow pirates
Oh,
make
that
off with
chat.
our own hard-earned chests and skulls, even our chickens, for crying out loud. That's
The
just
chat,
foul play.
I'm streaming this directly from Mixer, and
That was
it's
all just the beginning
this
of
is
an even
ridiculous.
more swashbuckling
Also, I've been
saga.
hearing a lot of
So,
fanboys on the
join
Xbox
me by the
side
fire
cringing at No Man's
perk up
Sky.
your lugs.
I'm
Your tales
hoping
of
that
the
they
new
get humbled
adventures
today.
that will emerge
I can't wait
from
for
the
that. I'm hoping
hungering
that's a
deep.
thing. Sea of Thieves does look fun, Sean. It does.
The life of a pirate.
That water is some of the best graphics I've seen. Some of the best water graphics, I
For you
should say.
see, to journey out onto the waves.
I'll
is to
buy
take
it
a
when it
step into the unknown.
gets a better
There
feature
are things
set.
which have lived there and ruled there
I was
far
told buyer
longer
beware,
than
so I think
us.
I'll wait a little.
Great terrors from the deep. Some I've seen with my own eye. Many have tried to gain control over the sea, but it does not reward the greedy or impatient. The ancient people encountered monsters so powerful and terrible that they worshipped them as gods. Some say that the ancients
Microtransactions
even
in No
learned how to
Man's
summon
Sky.
such
Sean's
creatures.
beard,
They'd offer a
$5.
sacrifice, and in return, they were allowed to sail the
We haven't missed
sea
anything, see? Not yet.
undisturbed.
But Sean Murray
Most
is
would
in
tell
the
you that
building.
These are just stories. But I know different. And now I hear whispers from across
Sean
the
Murray
waves of
is
ships
present. He is
disappearing
here.
without a
That's
trace.
a way more than I
Sightings of
thought
something
originally.
Impossible. Just stories. Now, did I ever tell you about a vicious parrot that stole my eye?
There you have it, the first official whispers of new dangers and fresh adventures coming to Sea of Thieves on May the 29th. And that's just the first of 6 planned content updates this year. The team at Rare have been doing tremendous work keeping the community informed with blogs, tweets, and videos. So don't forget to check out seaofthieves.com and twitter.com/seaofthieves for all the latest news. Jeff, what is going over there? It's not a picnic, you know.
By the way, I really appreciated your voiceover in that last piece. It was, you've got a lot of range. But anyway, if you're one of the millions vying for the ultimate
Oh, sorry, I
ultimate
turned around to
prize
yell at my
in
child.
PlayerUnknown's
Thank you.
Battlegrounds, well, you may have
But yeah,
tried
Sean
your hand
Murray's
at
in the
desert
building.
map Miramar on the public
and
test server. No doubt,
he just
dropping
retweeted
Hacienda
this
in
stream, by the way.
process,
Not
but
mine, but the
everyone wants
Xbox
to know
stream,
when
which
they
is
can
also
expect the new map
noteworthy.
to officially launch
That's
into
his way of
Xbox
saying,
game preview.
you should
Well,
watch this.
welcome no longer.
PUBG, I love this game. It's so good. Fortnite is garbage. My daughter plays Fortnite. She loves Fortnite. I can't stand it. Maybe he's just an Xbox fanboy. I don't know. I love my Halo machine.
I love the Xbox machine.
Well, there you
You don't play the
there
Xbox
you
machine.
have it. The arid adventures
play the
of the
PS4,
desert map
Goober.
Miramar begin on May 24th. We can also confirm that the map will launch with a brand new title update that will improve performance of the game overall and make for a better PUBG experience. Thanks to all of the fans who helped out on the PUBG public test server, and stay tuned to Inside Xbox next month at E3 for even more
Battle
PUBG
Royale
news.
games, it depends.
Now coming up, we're gonna
Call of Duty's
dig
getting a
into
Battle
the
Royale.
dangerous world of simulated zombie apocalypses
Major's
in
Minute,
State of Decay 2,
State of Decay.
followed by
I wonder
a
if that's in
live
order
Q&A
of things.
with the developers right here on this very stage. But first, oh dear, I see Larry limbering up. He's quite flexible, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for Major's Minute.
Oh, bro, stop. You're gonna get food poisoning.
Easy there, Tiger. I can't just flip a switch. It's got to be natural.
Larry,
All right,
that
here we
suit
go.
is off the
1
chain,
minute
bro.
and all the Xbox Game Pass updates from A. Are you ready? Start
He's
that
got
clock.
that Bob Barker
Why Xbox
microphone.
Game Pass?
No,
One membership, 100
the price
plus
is
games,
right.
all for $9.99 a month. Plus, new Microsoft Game Studio games shipping day and date on Xbox Game Pass. That is bonkers, people. And the games, they just keep coming, one after the other. With
God.
Just this month, we've got State of Decay 2 launching on Xbox
He
Game
literally
Pass
looks
day
like
and
Drew
date,
Carey
May
without the
22nd.
glasses right
Mind
now.
blown.
I am
And
full
that's
on
just
deep core
part of the main
cringe. This
story.
is
We also have
great.
Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 from our friends at Konami. Oh, that animation's so sweet, I could eat it with a spoon. And then there's Overcooked, frantic 4-player couch co-op. You, your friends, one hot kitchen. And then don't forget Laser League. Pew, pew,
Man, I
pew.
hope he
My
rehearsed
goodness,
this.
Laser League, quick twitch reflexes, deep strategy, and lightning fast matches. It's out there waiting for you to download right now. That's not all. We've also got the Escapists,
Well, we are, Tony, we are a
Unmechanical
bunch of
Extended,
kids,
Sonic and Knuckles,
adult
and Home
kids
Front
playing
Revolution
video
and the Game
games.
Platform. They
That's-
just keep coming. I can't
That's-
keep up. And
that's
if
it.
you download just 3 Xbox Game Passes in the month of May, you'll be entered for a chance for $500 to spend at the Microsoft Store. What more do you need? And coming this
Larry, he
June,
did
we are
it.
out of time.
Oh, he got buzzard.
Oh, Larry may be out of time, but I've got a few seconds to spare. We're happy to announce that Next Up Hero will be joining Xbox Game Pass on its launch day in June. The game's twist is fun and pretty easy to understand. Every time you die, a new hero
Oh, you're ready to
rises
cringe.
the occasion, but here's the good part. You then find and revive any player's fallen hero and use the combined power to take down the game's big bads. Check it out.
What are you doing? Don't be weird. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That looks kind of fun. Oh, my allergies are killing me.
It looks way harder than Mario.
She's been on the impressions thing lately. It's liable to get her grounded from mom. She's the grumpy one.
Let's go.
Get up.
It's so easy.
Yeah, I don't know what this game is. Looks cool though. I should know.
Is this cool that the show?
Champion trial. What? But it's not. But it's not multiplayer then.
Yeah, it's not real.
You're watching this at school, Tyler. Welcome. Good to see y'all. By the way, No Man's Sky for Switch, for Nintendo Switch. I doubt it. Totally doubt it. I don't think, unless they were to curb it back really hard.
We are blindfolded. We can't see anything.
Take your blindfolds off.
We can't.
What do you mean
Guys,
you
why are we
can't?
doing this? What is this?
Can't wait to see that a little bit later on the show. Coming up in just a moment, though, we'll be joined on stage by a few dear friends from Undead Labs, the creative brain trust, behind State of Decay. At the heart of this zombie survival game lies a single question. How will you survive?
How do you play State of Decay?
I think you have to.
What do you do in State of Decay? Is that the question? Is that what we're
The how
looking
will
for?
you survive tagline is fantastic. On the surface, it's how will you execute against this cool survival plan that you've been planning with your buddies your whole life? How will you survive going through the actual consequences?
The first step
when
to
nothing
surviving
works
a
out the way
zombie
you planned?
apocalypse is
When you can't
teaming
save
up with that
everybody,
friend
and
that you
people
can
in your
shoot in
base
the
are
kneecap
starving, and somebody is coming
and
to you
leave
saying,
them
"Please, I
behind
just need a place to
for
live."
bait.
How will you survive that?
Another zombie killer? Hey man, don't bag on zombies. I love
While
zombies.
you're out doing all the action and blowing things up and fighting juggernauts and ferals and things like that, there's a lot of stuff going on back at your base where
All you gotta
basically
do is show me
simulating
another
what's
Left 4
going
Dead.
on
That's it.
between the different survivors,
Just
the
another
different
Left 4
interactions
Dead.
between their traits
You
and
got
how
my
they
money.
affect each other's morale.
Everybody in your base has their kind of own ideas about what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, how you respond to certain crises or situations.
We also simulate what it's like for those folks to be
The first State of
surviving
Decay, though, I don't
day-to-day,
think I gave it a.
going out in
I
the
don't give it.
world,
I
fighting
didn't give it a
through
good enough
things.
chance. I
You're
should
the
try
focus
again.
of the
I should
action,
go back
but
and
there's still stuff
play it
going on
before
with
this.
them. And then, of course, the noise that's going on at the base,
Base is being attacked. Zombies are everywhere.
interacting with the simulation of what's going on with the zombies in the world, so that can cause a siege, and then the sort of behind the scenes on what's going on with the zombies themselves.
This skybox is awful.
Infestations are
You should be able to
spreading,
reach the
hordes
stars.
are moving
I
through the
agree.
world. All of those things are
I
kind of
totally
happening
agree.
in the background while you're out doing the
That was
action.
something I was a little bit disappointed by. That there's a loading screen between transferring between star systems.
What
That
makes the game interesting and compelling.
That's
long-term
that's
is not
unfortunate.
any one of those simulations and the way that simulation interacts with you, but the way that they all overlap.
And Isaac,
work
to be
together.
fair,
And so a lot of times when you're
the
playing, you'll set
skybox
out
is
to accomplish
realistic.
a certain thing or think that you're
Those
gonna be doing
stars are
something,
actually
but
there.
you wind up
As a
having
matter of
completely
fact,
different
in
play
Ray
experience
Rod's
than you
PC
envisioned that you
mod,
would.
with
ultimately,
his
that's the heartbeat
spiral
of the,
star systems.
responsive and dynamic
You
nature
can
of the
see
game.
the spirals in the skybox, so they're really
procedural
there. I
composition
just don't
systems
think
are
that there's
very
a
complicated. I'll
realistic
give you kind of the Cliff
or
Notes
tangible way to
versions.
get there
We
just
start
yet.
by
So
generating a cultural background and a name
Gas Giants.
for each survivor. We want them to have a sense of history.
Gas Giants, I understand
a
why they didn't put
background
Gas
that
Giants
feels
in
like something
originally.
that came
Doesn't make
from
much
either the
sense. You
pre-apocalypse
can't
or
land on a Gas
post-apocalypse
Giant unless
before
you
they
get
wound
really
up with
creative
this
with it.
community. How were they surviving?
Which I'm all
What were
for.
they doing in the world?
You'll be able to go in great depth and see
Definitely.
how those experiences and those beliefs impact the way
Sean,
that
I agree.
character
If Sean is
not
there,
only reacts to the
literally,
decisions
for an
you make,
interview,
but plugs into the
this
fundamental
would actually be
simulation.
his
You can dig in
first
and see, like, oh,
on-camera
this person
interview
used to be a
since
police
before
officer or
launch
was in the
that
military.
I can think
I can
about.
see why they have such good
Isaac, we
shooting
do
skills
have
for allocate.
atmosphereless
And then
planets,
we round that out
or
with,
dead planets. They
some
do
personality
exist.
quirks.
They
Some,
are a thing.
Different behavioral things, emotional responses that they might have
Yeah.
to certain elements, or some physical
So you get to
characteristics.
pick.
Like
You get to
snoring
pick who
is a
you
good
are.
Example,
You
that
can
kind of make
be
them a complete
girl or
person.
boy,
Sometimes
white or
that character's
black.
background
Pick
traits may
whatever
directly
clothes you want.
impact
Yeah.
Their RPG stats, their shooting, their cardio.
They look
both
like
in
real
terms
people,
of
don't
what
they?
is its current value, what is its maximum value, how good can they ever
Really
get at this
good
kind of thing.
artists.
And then there are some
Rivers,
kind of
yeah.
longer-term
Don't most
traits
gas
that aren't
giants
necessarily
have
always
giant
immediately
rocks
obvious.
floating within them,
We give
or like a
ourselves the
core?
ability to
As
not
far
only
as I
impact
know,
the game
yeah.
as
I
you see it
mean,
today, but
we
also make sure those traits
definitely
can play a role as we grow and
we've
extend
tried
the game
sending
over
stuff
time.
into Jupiter. I think
Things
it
can
was.
happen, right? People can get
And
pissed
then
off
the
and leave.
You know,
bless
when I
you, and then the
encounter a
beautiful
survivor who's in the
destruction
world
that
who says, "Oh,
followed.
this person doesn't trust you," I immediately
That was
want
one
to
of
look for
it was
ways to be
satellite. I
like,
think we
hey,
sent.
we need to build trust here so that we can survive together. I don't want to lose those people. I want to invest in them.
Bringing somebody into the base that you know has a negative trait, and then seeing the morale hit that has from either a particular trait that they have or the fact that they have conflict with somebody else that's in the community, and that starts bringing the morale of the entire community down because these two are fighting all the time. And the little details of those
This looks good, though.
interactions kind of come together.
Gas giants
into
have
the
small rocky
simulation to
cores,
give
but you
it that
know
feel
you ain't
of
getting to them.
consequences.
That's true. You're not getting to them very easily.
You know, we always balance that, the kind of visceral reaction of fun 3D action combat, the open simulated sandbox world, and then that very deep, very more kind of thoughtful experience of how are you
This is
crafting
nice.
the base.
There are so many more
Ring planets
options
are
for
pretty
base
much
building
confirmed,
than we had
right?
in the first
I mean, if
game.
we go
A
by the new
number of
box
different
art,
facilities that you can build in your base, and then
Sean
the
did talk
functionality
about
that they
rings
each
coming to
offer
No Man's
your
Sky,
community in
ringed
terms
planets.
of alleviating some pressure.
But,
you want to generate some food. You
never
want to
saw
build a
them.
garden, something
They
bigger,
are
you
in
can
Ray
make a
Rod's
farm,
mod,
and then
so they are
switching
part
your
of that.
farm's output production from food to
but they're not
medicinal
filled with
herbs, so that
rocks.
now
They're just
you're
kind of flat
generating
pictures.
medicine for your community.
Don't eat your
Adding mods to your workshop, so now you have power in your workshop, and now you can generate and craft items that you weren't able to do before. None of those systems were in the first game, and it's really exciting to see what those options bring to the table in terms of people being able to realize their survival plans.
Little girls fighting allergies just like I am.
My favorite
so sick
moments
of
from
dying to
developing this game have
allergies.
tended to be when I hear other people in the office
Sneezing.
responding to something horrible.
Like I woke up
that's
this
happening to
morning and
them.
I was a
there
literal
late at night, it was
snot
dark
factory.
outside,
All of
several
it.
other
Boom,
people
right
were
here.
there working late. It was very quiet at the studio.
He had his headphones on. He's playing the game.
I hope
and
they
I'm just
confirmed
sitting
that they're
there working.
removing
There was some
planets.
gentle music playing, and I
You
wasn't
want them to
really paying
remove
attention,
planets?
and
I
heard
don't understand.
a sound.
Oh no, I
just out
didn't.
here on your
Oh
peripheral
no, she
somewhere.
didn't
It's not
eject and she
attacking
left
you
on her
yet,
own
it's just
accord.
watching you and kind of stalking you.
Can I hear? Oh,
She's got an
like,
attention
really
span
loud.
of just like,
And I
okay, this is
literally felt the
interesting. This
hairs
is
on my-
interesting.
on
This
my
is
arm
great. Okay, bye.
stand up, right? I felt this kind of wash of that fear response.
He knew it was a feral, but he turned and there it was, and it started tearing
It's like
things
me
up.
when I
Zombie
create
movies
YouTube videos.
terrify me.
I have to
love
literally
them,
focus
but
on
to
them in
actually, like,
one
jump
day,
into that game
or it
and
will
live in that
literally
world
sit on my
was
desktop
far scarier than
and may never
I
get visited
anticipated.
again.
If we're doing
She's
our
8,
jobs, there are still going to be moments of genuine fear. This is the zombie apocalypse.
and she's
I
always
love that we're
asking
able
if
to
she can be
convey
part
that
of my
through
streams.
the
And
subtlety of
we were
moments
actually
like
supposed to
that.
do something cool this afternoon, but then the news dropped about what was going on with this. I wasn't actually going to do this, stream this live, and then all of a sudden, all 5 of the final Waking Titan
All right, we are now
glyphs
joined
lit
by
up.
Richard
Hey,
Fogey,
Kendar,
Doug
what's up? Long
Williams,
time.
and Wonder Russell from Undead Labs. Thanks
So
for
all
joining
5
us
of
all
the
way
final
from,
Waking Titan glyphs lit
Seattle.
up and
Yeah,
are
it takes about
actually
10 minutes.
available
I appreciate you
to be
making the
solved
trip.
now.
Yeah.
And I'm
so
like,
we just
whoa.
saw a piece that showcases all of the various pieces of the simulation.
Yeah, Ray
and
Rod's
how they come
awesome.
together to make State of Decay. And this is
I don't know that
a
they'll be
simulation.
working with
This is
Ray
not just like
Rod
hitting one plot
necessarily,
point after another that's on
but
rails.
Yeah, absolutely.
he's going to have a
Basically, once you're out
lot
of
of
the
work
tutorial,
on his
everybody's story
hands
is gonna be different, and they
coming
keep
up
going
here
from there.
once
so
next launches,
everyone out
because
there, the
when you get a
community,
new
they're gonna have their
update
own
for a game
stories,
that you're
and they
modding,
actually sent a bunch of questions in. So
um,
why don't we kick it over to
you're basically a lot of your mod gets broken, and you have to refix it or redo it or scrap things that were originally there. But
Bakari, his face is in the game. What's going on?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Why aren't I in the game? Major Nelson, I'm sure, is furious.
Come down, we'll scan you in. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
that's
scan
it.
in
We're
Ricari.
converting
Yeah.
No, how did that?
I want to see cities too, but I want to see structures that mean something.
Don't make it
correct me if I'm
There's
wrong,
too many
but I
structures that
believe
are just
what ended
like
up happening is you guys
there,
reached out
you
to
know,
friends
with
and
not
family at the
much of
studio that had been around for
you
a
know,
while, and you wanted to create the world of State of Decay,
motivation
yes?
or
Specifically
reason.
reached out to Microsoft and
I like his
said,
shirt,
"Send
by
us
the
your most
way.
handsome
His
person."
Killmonger shirt. That's
why I
awesome.
didn't get an email. Brant called me as a
Black Panther was great if you haven't seen it.
I wasn't in that initial bit.
Black L play
Down,
stream
and I
froze.
remember I had to sit very, very still in
Uh-oh.
the chair, and they tried to take photos all around me, and we did it a few times. And
Let me see if I can text him and let him know, because I think he's only got one screen at the
I do have to
moment.
call out one thing very fast. First of all, the names that are assigned to me are absolutely hilarious, and the voice.
I don't know that he could actually see it though.
My stats. Look, my stats are low, but I can't zoom in.
If
on
any
it
of
here,
you
but can
know
see on the
Kyle
screen here,
Culver
under
as
Kevin,
well,
Kevin does tons of
he
squats.
didn't know it
Tons of
either.
squats.
He's a No
Whoever
Man's
knows
Sky
that, I
YouTuber,
wanna
but
say
he
thank you so
works
much.
at
Every day, like
Microsoft. So he might actually get a chance to have a picture or a meetup with Sean Murray if he's there. I don't know where this is. I'm assuming this is
Really, this
in
one's talking
the
about development. So, what
No
are some
Man's Sky
tips or
studio.
tricks, differences that you guys made for things like shadows, draw distance, AI, etc.
Hey, Slave Edge, don't call it a comeback. I never left.
Yeah, the big one, of course,
Never
is going
left.
from a 360 game to the one.
There's a lot of people that
is,
never
lots more
left.
storage, lots more
However,
gigs
there are a lot of people
the 2
that
gig
have either
game
not
to-
played this game due
well, I wouldn't say
to
as
the
much as
stigma
we
that it
want,
has,
but a lot.
or they haven't played it
we
since
decided to
launch.
use,
And there's a
Unreal Engine
whole
this
lot
time,
of
which was a
people
much
that
better,
don't know
quicker for us to
what's been happening
move
with this
through,
game since launch. So
reiterate and
let's
do things faster.
help
And
them
then,
with that.
For
You know?
lighting, we picked a couple different ways that we did it. Enlighten for interiors, which is a software package, and then another was True Sky. So outside we could get
Yeah, Sea of Soul,
really
he's
cool
there.
real-time, clouds,
He's in the
lighting,
building.
night, day, everything else. So those are the main bits.
And then, of course, you had Xbox One X, and you've been able to do that.
He is there, which makes me really hyped now, because he ain't coming out there to just be like, "Here's a box art." No. No. Yeah, he tweeted the link,
how
right?
well is the integration? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to compress this. What's up with co-op? Why is this better? Why is it bigger? Why is it more excellent?
I mean, it was one
Excited
of the
to
most
finally
requested
be
features that we had,
inside an
after the
Xbox.
development of the first
Will
game.
will
You couldn't
report
stop
what
saying,
I
like, I love this
find.
game so much, but I really wish I
Is
could
his
play with my
tweet.
friends. So that was what we focused on, is making sure that
God,
you
I gotta
have
get a second
robust
monitor. I have a
gameplay
second
experience
monitor,
with your
but I
friends,
don't have the
and that when your friends
hookups
came into your game, they could help you out,
for
make progress on their
a second
characters,
monitor to.
but because
I gotta get a
everybody's
splitter
story is
basically,
unique,
so
you know, they're
that's
pushing-
coming.
They're helping you push your story forward. You're helping them upgrade their characters. When they go
That's
back
why
into
the
their
stream
game,
was
they're gonna
switching back and
get
forth.
a bunch of cool multiplayer rewards.
He's inside the
and,
Xbox studio.
and
Yes,
that'll
he
help
is.
them as they get going again, building.
And
it
what's
back
weird
up
is
there.
nobody
So it's
knows
nice to
this
be
stuff is
friendly,
happening.
but it's even
Nobody
nicer
ever
when
knows this
that
happens.
friendship is rewarded with like cold hard loot. Or,
presence.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
presence.
Yeah.
Help me out. Get
And I
cool
found
stuff.
it's really fast to build influence, which is essentially the currency of the game. When you're saving up for something big like a water tower or a power plant.
This looks
to
good
actually
though.
help
The
out.
co-op looks
Oh yeah,
great.
a huge recommendation. Go out there.
Tyler's
help
still
your
no
friends out,
word
and
from
you're gonna get
Syrian. I bet he would be excited right now. Friend, nobody knows
There's a lot
what's
that you can
going
do
on
with
with
co-op.
Syrian gaming,
besides progressing
unfortunately.
the
I
game,
really miss
you're
him
going
too.
you progress your own
And
character, your own story
something
as well.
something really bad must have
generous,
happened to
it just
him
comes
because
right
he
back.
disappeared from
Well, next up,
everywhere.
because of course people are gonna ask us, this game is
The
starting to
last
roll out,
conversation
so
we
it's
had
right
with
your
him
way, and you can
was
stay tuned if you want.
on
Okay.
November
Post-launch plans, what's gonna
27th,
happen?
just
We have a
shortly
lot.
after.
We're definitely going to listen to the community.
just shortly
We
after
want to hear
Thanksgiving,
what the experience is,
2017.
what they like, what they want to
And
see more of.
he was
and
excited
then,
and
of
he
course,
was
like,
great,
ongoing
positive
support,
attitude, and
keep
he just
updating the game and
fell
making it better
off
and
the
better
map.
experience.
And you've
Fell
actually
off.
already
He
announced
disappeared.
some,
He
future
hasn't
packs
been
for
on
those who
Twitter.
thought
He
we
hasn't
were going to
because
buy
he's
tonight
part of
the
the
Ultimate Edition
No
of
Man's
State of
Sky
Decay 2.
YouTuber. We have a
We've
big,
announced a couple of
massive.
Two DLCs coming out.
Yeah,
We've
announced
we've
the,
all
Independence pack,
most of
which
us
is,
YouTubers
American
from
Independence Day themed pack with some cool new cars and some
No Man's Sky
weapons,
YouTubers
things
are
like
in a
that.
chat
then,
together, and Twitter. And
Daybreak
we've been
Hack,
there
which
for like
is
3
an all-new
years
game
together.
mode that's gonna be
Peaceful
coming out later
Gamer,
this year.
Cobra,
All right,
Kyle Culver, Syrian, Dan Before Time, a lot of the heavy hitters, and L Plays Gaming, he's part of it. Just Jared, he's in there. And you can tell in the Twitter chat if
I'll never forget the first time I overextended.
you can tell in the
and
Twitter
got my
chat if
best
somebody's
survivor
seen
with
your
me.
message, and he hasn't seen any of our messages since since that day. Like he hasn't, he just like it's like he deleted Twitter, he deleted Facebook, he deleted Steam, he deleted his own YouTube channel, or it just got axed, one or the other. He's gone. Like we don't know what it is. He's not dead because we know his name. I'm not going to dox him, but we know his name. He's not in any obituaries or anything like that. We reached out to his family, and they simply responded with, we'll let him know you're looking for him. SkyMoo is not on any kind of social media, so we can't. And Nick, and you know, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, he got burned out, and you know what? There's been times that I've wanted to leave like Twitter and Facebook because there's just so much madness going on. I think NMS is. I think No Man's Sky is after this one. Yeah. But yeah, like we're all baffled. We all miss him. I met Syrian Gaming personally at E3 when him and I both went last year. He's a fantastic dude. He's positive. He was doing great. He had some great growth going on too, and then he just fell off. I don't know if he just got sick, cancer or something like that.
May 18th, Ultimate Edition, the best edition.
But yeah, it's really sad. We don't know what happened, but we love him and we wish him luck.
For purchase and on Game Pass.
That's right, Xbox Game
yeah,
Pass. So
Facebook is trash. The only reason I stay on it is because I have a lot of family and friends all over the country. It could be depression. It's speculation. He didn't seem like one that would suffer from such a thing, but we never asked because he's never given us signs of that. He's never given us anything other than positivity, you know.
And again, once again, the Ultimate
I'll ask how Major Nelson got his title. I believe it was for fighting in the console wars of 2001. They say he sits on a throne made of VMUs. We'll investigate.
Now, it's a special day here at Team Xbox with the unveiling of the Xbox Adaptive
This could be it,
Controller,
y'all.
which we hope will better empower gamers with limited mobility.
Pucker your butts.
We had a chance to speak with some of the team that brought the Xbox Adaptive Controller from concept to what you see today. Take a look.
I'm going to tweet again.
So there's 3 principles of inclusive design. There's recognize exclusion, learn from diversity, and solve for one and extend to many.
We had a ton of customers out there that couldn't play Xbox games, and they wanted
This
to.
is great, by the way. Like, this actually brings a man tear to my eye that they put this much work in a controller for people that are disabled
but if we look at
and have disabilities.
From
this is
the
amazing, y'all.
exclusion lens, it's been designed and optimized over multiple generations around a primary
See of thy
use
soul,
case,
yeah,
the use case
and
has
you
a
know
lot
what?
of
He must have did a
assumptions.
damn good
It
job of
assumes that I
it.
have
But
two
my
hands
heart
to
goes
hold
out
it.
to him, man.
It
Whatever's
assumes that I
going
have two
on, if
thumbs for
Syrian,
these
if you're
sticks.
watching, if you're
It
out there,
assumes that I have
bro,
a
we
fluid
miss you,
range
we
of
love you.
motion,
Take care of
fine motor
yourself,
control
man.
to hit these buttons. It assumes that I have the
A
reach
true
to hit
friend,
these bumpers and
Syrian,
triggers.
true friend.
And it assumes that
Good
I have
guy.
the endurance to hold it for like a long gaming session.
And so once people understood that, hey, there's something we can do about that. We can build hardware. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. And it can open the door to Xbox gaming for so many new people. It becomes a no-brainer. Like, you have to do it.
The process of bringing this product to life was really interesting to me, in large part because it wasn't something that sort of the company handed to us to go do. It was a grassroots product.
It was very hacky. You know, at the time it was a hackathon, and so our stuff looked pretty rough.
When the time it came to mature,
Kyle Culver is saying that he is
there was a lot of questions
2
around,
blocks
okay,
away from
how
the
do we-
building
how
that
do we get all
Sean
this
Murray is
small
in
control
right
for it?
now.
Like, big idea, awesome.
We had to
Kyle
rethink
Culver,
how we
he's
did
that great
requirements.
YouTuber
We had
who
to
breaks down
rethink
Waking Titan.
packaging. We had to rethink everything about our hardware development process, and that has been a challenge.
See, don't
and
make
it's
fun
also
of my
been
tweet.
Very rewarding.
You so need to
The
be able to
Xbox
update
Adaptive
your tweets,
Controller
man.
is
I hate this
really
so much.
the best option for somebody who has a hard time using our traditional controller. So we designed it to be as flexible
Bro, if Sean
as
Murray
possible
is
for
here,
somebody
this is going to be
who has limited
lit.
mobility.
It's going to be
Well,
good.
a lot of the
I can't
things
wait.
that I thought were really interesting technically were, the audio jacks, it's a new interface for us, and so that was a nice challenge for us to go implement.
This person in this
On the
chat
back here, you
just
can
put
see,
yet still no
there's all
mouse
these
support.
inputs
Like, what
that
kind of dick
all the
are
buttons
you?
on the controller.
that
I
would
also
post some
enjoyed
shit
quite a
like
bit
that.
Working on the USB subsystem that was new.
Still no
something that
mouse support.
controllers don't
First
have,
off,
typically.
aside
When I
from
have the product in front of
disabilities,
me, I don't actually have to
you
see
shouldn't have mouse support
the jack that I'm plugging
on a
into. I
console.
can feel it with this
At
small
least to
groove
me.
and plug the pin in really easily.
Or it should be very
It's little
limited.
details like that
But this is for
make it a
disabled
great
gamers
adaptive
who
product,
have
but also make it easier for
who
anyone
have
to use.
issues
It's
even
large
holding
enough
a
on purpose to
controller,
sit on your
right?
lap
So this is
easily.
really cool
These
that this is
buttons are
that this is a thing.
large
Look
and
at like the
spaced out so
ports
you
on
can
this
rest your
thing for
hand
the
in between them
peripherals.
and be able to,
Mouse is the best
easily
controller though.
actuate
I don't
either
know,
side.
man.
You can
I'm in
attach a
between. I
tripod
love
to it.
mouse
There's
and
all different
keyboard,
kinds of universal mounts you
but
can
I
attach
can only
this
do it for so
to
long.
your
Like I
table,
love
a
to
lap
play
desk,
PUBG, for instance.
behind the chair you're sitting in, anywhere
but
that
my
works for
hands
your
start to
space.
hurt.
So the
My
flexibility
keyboard
of this
hand
product
starts
is
to
super important
just
to the design.
cramp with the WSD, the WASD.
Some of the other bits of
it
feedback
hurts,
that
man.
we got from the community was how
Can
important
they
it
just
was that
show
these
the
surfaces
gameplay
were
or the
domed.
trailer of
It makes it more
anything
comfortable, it
already?
makes it a lot easier to
Takes
run your
time,
hand
bro.
over and
Takes
actuate the
time.
buttons. Another thing that we realized was really important was the
They
stability
had to
of this
lead
on
with a
table.
dude eating a
If
turkey.
it starts slipping around and moving while you're trying to play, it's
Or a chicken.
distracting and you're not getting a good experience. So it's a lot more immersive if you don't have to worry about that at all and you can just get straight to playing.
This is a product unlike any we've done before, and so. You need
But
the
I'm really
feedback from
really
your
proud of
users to make sure
Microsoft for
you're
doing
designing
this
the right
stuff.
thing.
This is good.
When we looked at the footage from Craig Hospital and we saw how their occupational therapists were using it, they were creating unique custom rigs sort of on the fly for a person. Like basically someone sitting down with a couple
That's really good,
switches,
man. Like
some
I'm proud of
buttons,
them.
some joysticks, and the Xbox
Sony needs to
adaptive
get in on
controller,
that.
And
They really
basically
do.
building a custom controller for someone on the spot. And for me, that is the real powerful thing.
Seeing people use it for the first time, you
Just
realize,
imagine,
oh,
though,
man, I
you
didn't think of
live
that.
your life
For example,
like
attaching buttons to the
completely
face of this,
privileged.
We had no
And
idea that
if
people
you're
would use it that way.
if you're
and
not
they did.
disabled and you can
And
play
it's really
just fine,
cool.
just
And
think
so
about
that
that
just really helps
disabled
inform our
person
design
who can
process
barely
and
move
how
their
we think about
hands
these
or
products
who
in
can
the future.
barely hear
Xbox
or who don't
adaptive
have the
controller
luxuries that
is
you
really
do.
easy. You just plug it in.
Imagine
and
not
then you
being able to
can
play games.
plug in
Imagine wanting to play
various
games so bad but you
switches
can't.
to control
I
the
I
buttons and the
I can only
arrows
imagine,
and
man.
the
So
joystick. And
anything that could have
for
these
me,
people do what
that
we
means
do
I
and enjoy
can
what we do
play
every
any
single
game
day,
on Xbox. You just set
you
it
can't
up
put a price
the
on
way
that shit. You
works.
can't.
That's true.
I would love to know how much it is though.
I mean, this is a very versatile platform, and I know that there's gonna
Definitely
be plenty
has
of
to
people
have
using it in ways we
an
didn't
accessible
think about.
price for sure.
Everything I've done in my career as an engineer and as a program manager.
Normally,
the Xbox Adaptive
it's usually the
Controller is
developers
something
that
I
are
am the
doing
most
something
proud of.
I think that
to
the true impact
control
of this
schemes
is
and
not
things
gonna be
like
seen
that,
until it's
making
out in
them
the market for a
open.
while, and our
Call of
customers
Duty
really
started this
understand,
actually.
hey,
There
this
was,
is
I
a
think it was
great
Call of
product.
Duty. It
It
was
can
all
make
it
you
was
better
either
too.
Call of
It was
Duty
just
or
really
Halo,
gratifying to be able to
where
bring
they
something like
made
this
control
to
schemes
life as a
specifically for
product.
certain types of gamers with
Before,
disabilities.
I could see my friends
But I've never seen a
play all
special
these
controller
games,
like this unless
and
it
I
was a
couldn't
modded controller, like
participate.
something
But
specifically
now,
made
feel like
for this
I
particular
can.
gamer
I
or
can
on a
take
gamer
my
by gamer
mind
basis. But
off
this looks a little more
things
general
and
and a little more
engage
mainstream. So
my
I think that's
and
cool.
it makes me feel
Are we
like
waiting for
less
something here, or we
on
just
the
we're
outside.
waiting? Potbelly, thanks for joining in. Sean Murray, I think, is coming up next.
For more information on the Xbox Adaptive Controller, we encourage
My mom's got
you to check
arthritis
out
at my
the
age,
Microsoft
so if it
Story
happens
Labs
to me,
piece
this would
online
save my life.
for
Yeah,
a full
definitely.
in-depth story, and of course, always stay tuned to the Xbox Wire at news.xbox.com for all your Xbox news. Now, coming up soon, we'll sit down with Brian Ekberg from Turn 10 to reveal some exciting and new features and a brand new way
Maybe
to
next.
play coming to Forza Motorsport 7.
Get it
excuse
next?
me. Plus, Sketch,
It's an
Tachi,
Xbox
and
stream, that's
friends
right.
are on hand
No Man's
for
Sky's
briefings
coming to
from the
Xbox
industry to chat
officially.
about Master Chief Collection and more. But right now, Graham, I think it's safe to say you're about to chat with someone who's setting foot on the Xbox stage for the very first time.
Oh God.
Last
Here we go,
month,
fam.
Hello Games shocked the community when they announced that No Man's Sky was making its way to Xbox
Shocked
One,
the community.
including an Xbox One X enhanced version of this ambitious space exploration and survival game. And now I'm joined by Sean from Hello Games to tell us what
He looks great, and he's not wearing flannel. What's up, Sean? You look great, bro.
Sean, welcome. I think it's fair to say that I never expected to be talking to you on an Xbox
Remember,
stage like
this is the first time.
I snuck in. I dug a tunnel to get here.
Good.
Dug
You're
a tunnel.
Very welcome, mate. Now, listen, I'm just going to be cheeky and open up with, when is No Man's Sky coming to Xbox One?
Ooh.
Yeah, we haven't told anyone yet. So July 24th is when we're releasing No Man's Sky
Okay.
next.
Amazing. Brilliant. There you go.
So the
July
leak was true.
24th. And my next potentially cheeky question is, What's the story on multiplayer for No Man's Sky?
Yeah, so this is exciting. When No Man's Sky launches, July 24th, you're going to be able to play with your friends. Kind of a full multiplayer experience, right? And this is something that
Full multiplayer.
I wish we could have done sooner, but I'm so glad it's happening, right?
We do too, Sean.
Playtesting it in the studio for like the last 6 months. It's a really different experience. You know, No Man's Sky can be kind of
full
I
on,
guess a bit mysterious, a bit weird at times, right? But like, and also sometimes a little bit lonely, right? Because it's sci-fi, and I kind of love that side of it. But this is very different. It's more Battlestar. It's like Star Trek Away Team, right? It's fun and funny.
Get out of here, Flandy.
Emergent and kind of intense, right? So you can play with a bunch of your friends, like a small group of your friends can go exploring, right? Or you can just come across random strangers and other travelers.
Oh, wow. What?
You can pair up together in a team and like just work together to survive. Or if you're that guy, you can go and kind of prey on other people, right? If that's your thing.
There's that griefing.
So like we've got base building as well. So you can build bases together. You can build everything from like tiny little shelters to like complex colonies, right? Spread across like multiple planets. And because it's all online and those are shared, other people.
This feels like the Colbert interview, only right.
We've got like No Man's Sky is a very broad game, so we've got space as well. So
we've got space.
Dogfighting. You and your friends can be involved in kind of like big space battles. You can be a pirate or a wingman. And then there's something which I really love, which is a thing we added in one of our updates, which is exocraft and vehicles, right? So you can race those against your friends. You can build racetracks on like alien planets, or even just lay down a little trail of like your favorite path, your kind of scenic route, right? And so I think this is like potential that everyone's always seen in No Man's Sky, right? It's something that, I don't know, it's a kind of game that myself and a lot of other people have always wanted to play in a multiplayer world, I think, and I'm just really excited to be able to do that.
Great. Yeah, you've been through a lot with this game, right? I mean, does it feel now that you're getting to the point where you're really realizing the vision of what you always wanted from this experience?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I think when we come to Xbox, which is a fun thing, where we've got a whole bunch of like updates over the last 2 years that we've been working on, including Next, and they really expand the game, right? No Man's Sky was always huge, right? It was crazily ambitious,
right?
But like when I look at it, those updates have really kind of expanded and deepened every part of the game, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so we've got gameplay on here, but I don't. Oh, this is the Atlas Rises trailer.
Fans in the Xbox community, they may not know.
Come on, Sean, give me something.
No Man's Sky as well as some other communities, right? So tell us about what is exactly going to be in the Xbox version of the game that might be different from what people heard about in the past.
Yes,
let's. So when you play on Xbox, I mean, and I think this is an exciting thing for us as a developer. You always like, sharing this thing that you've worked really hard on with other people. But for us in particular, it's interesting with Xbox because we get to make that first impression with people. We have a much broader and more expanded game. So when you play it, day one, you're playing that base, like stupidly ambitious game that a small team was making, but you're also playing like 4 kind of pretty major updates in like Pathfinder.
So all the updates are included.
Next.
Right. So tell us about Next. Well, actually, first of all, let's talk about some of the key things that are in those other 4 expansions, and then let's move on to Next. So what are like the biggest things that you've added since the game was initially released?
You're one of those embarrassing dudes that still haven't played the game since update.
We've been kind of working on and developing.
Educate yourself.
Over the last while. With these major updates.
Flandy's trolling y'all, by the way.
Kind of working with the community, and we want to do that more, kind of listening intently. So you've got like Foundation, which was our first update, and that brought base building. It brought kind of survival mode, creative mode. Suddenly you could buy freighters.
So detailing all of the things,
start farming,
base building,
and
lots
so
of
that was,
modes like permadeath, survival.
Like already, No Man's Sky was something that people played for a long time. Like our average playtime was really long, but Foundation kind of massively improved.
Hundreds of hours. I have about 400 hours.
Then we had
300 or 400
Pathfinder,
hours.
which brought vehicles. It also brought permadeath. You could expand base building a lot more. You could share them online and stuff
I
like that.
typically only play survival or
for
permadeath. It's the
me,
only way to play No
actually,
Man's Sky
there's
for me.
Loads of little things that we added in that update that made the game kind of much more fun, actually, just a lot slicker and things like that. And then most recently we had Atlas Rises. Atlas Rises was a huge update.
You have like 30 hours.
It brought a
See,
mission,
man,
quest
I thought I knew
system.
you, bro.
It brought, like
I
30
thought I
hours
knew
of
you.
story. Really changed the game, and it got a really nice reception.
You put that
and a
shit
lot of people playing.
in a Call
and
of
so
Duty
that
game.
actually was the reason we kind of took a step back after that and just kind of went, all right, let's start working on next, which is what we've been working on. Let's take a year and let's make it the game we want it to be, right? Let's just, do the things we want.
So when you come to Xbox One and you ship No Man's Sky Next as well, I mean, does it kind of feel like a bit of a reboot for the game for you and the team at Hello?
Yeah, it's interesting. We've been working on this for 2 years in a way, like a year on Next and a year on updates previously that this all builds on top of, right? And that's a really cool thing. And we're lucky that we have a community that cares really deeply about the game, And so I get a real kick out of like working on updates and kind of feeding them, doing things that I know they'll enjoy.
Oh, he's doing it on purpose.
I don't know. Maybe one day I will feel that No Man's Sky has been, rebooted or it's kind of done, and I can't think of anything else I want to do to it. But I don't feel like that actually.
Right.
At the moment, I'm really enjoying what we're doing right now, and there's so many things that I can kind of get excited about in the future.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, tell us more about that. I mean, what's the vision like after you come to Xbox? What's down the road?
Good question.
Well, I think that's an interesting thing, right? I think we're good at I don't know if we're good. We're good at making games, right? We're definitely better at that than talking about it, right? And
No
I
shit.
think, there's a real hunger in the community to know everything that we're doing and have a complete roadmap and stuff like that. But hopefully, we will reward their patience of not having much info with just good, solid content, right?
Can't argue
and we
with that,
only
bro.
like to talk about things when they are right, when we are super happy with them, right? When we know they can't possibly change. So, I really like making games. I don't necessarily love talking about making games.
I think you did a good job,
even
Sean,
though,
don't worry.
even though, you guys are very nice.
Mate, seriously, thank you so much for being on the show. Welcome to the Xbox community. It's wonderful to have you here. And will you come back and talk to us more about
Talk to
No
us
Man's
about
Sky down the
Next.
line?
Sure, maybe, yeah.
Sure,
Great, I'll
baby.
take that as a firm yes. Thank you, mate. Pleasure as always.
He didn't say anything about it.
All right, I know I can't wait for some Interstellar.
You didn't push him
exploration
hard
with
enough.
my friends, when No Man's Sky Next launches on Xbox One very soon. Rukari, Alex.
Trailer,
We've
please.
had Sea of Thieves, we've had PUBG, we've had State of Decay 2, we've had the Xbox Adaptive Controller, and now No Man's Sky so far. But what's the community saying?
Well, tons of things, Graham, but Alex, I'm going to let you start things out.
Whoa, you're being nice to me.
That's the first I know.
I mean, how do you follow up that announcement, but with a little bit of, I taught him that.
Please show me one more time.
Oh God, no.
Whatever.
No, but
These
we're all excited
guys,
for No
they're
Man's
so
Sky, right?
cringy.
Yeah.
I
All right,
tell
This one I'm
you.
going to pick, and I'll write.
All right, so that's the big thing that we're taking away from this is full-on multiplayer. So before you get all disappointed, I'm glad he was there. And let's be honest, this was his first public appearance to the media, right? To gamers. Now, they've been to like trade shows like GDC and other places where they've delivered talks and stuff like that. But let's talk about what's going on right now, because if you don't know, just before this stream started, Waking Titan fired off in a pretty big way. So all 5 of the final glyphs. Now remember, it takes like months like a month or two to get through a handful of glyphs. We went through quite a bit of them during or just leading up to the Atlas Rises announcement. And now all 5 of the final glyphs of Waking Titan just lit up, right? They're open now. That was before the stream. Also, 5 books have just been sent out to some pretty key players of the of this whole thing. Cobra TV got one, Evidander got one, and a few other people on Reddit got one. So I'm thinking that here this weekend, here pretty soon, if not starting today, Waking Titan's going to kick up in a big way. So here's some other speculation, something that MZK brought up today that I firmly believe. I've been calling this for, ever since Next was announced, was that I almost wonder if Next is going to be hitting PlayStation before Xbox, and before the Xbox watchers are like, no! It might hit the PlayStation beforehand, strictly for things like play testing and things like that. And so we already know that the Xbox version is going to launch on July 24th, and it's going to launch with all of the updates, including Next. So that's awesome too. So think about it. It takes a month for those to go gold, those copies to go gold. So typically it'll go to print. 505 Games will send it to print, and typically you have between 3 to 4 weeks before it's shipped out and it's bought and it's in stores and it's sold. So the same thing happened when it launched on PlayStation 4 and PC. It went gold 30 days later, or roughly it was in store shelves. So we are about 2 months away from that now, a little more than 2 months away from the launch of the Next edition, or the new edition on the Xbox. So to me, it would be smart to launch it on the Xbox or on the PlayStation 4 first, get it out there, get it tested, because right after, for weeks, Hello Games are supporting that new update with bug fixes and improvements and additions and things like that. They did so specifically for Atlas Rises. So that's something to keep in mind. Do keep in mind, too, that anything goes between here and now. So you should keep an eye on Waking Titan and things like that. Also keep an eye on Sean Murray's Twitter. I don't know if he has posted. He's tweeted a few times since the stream has started. Let me see here. I think he runs his own Twitter. He follows one person, and that's Hello Games. He follows Hello Games, one person. How much of a gangster are you if you follow one person on Twitter? That's lovely. So let me see here. Full-on multiplayer, and that was really the only thing that we got out of that. But it sounds like there's some PvE in there, there's some co-op travel, and there even sounds like PvP. That sounded like PvP to me. Holler at me, chat. Keep me honest. Am I crazy here? Am I crazy? Tell me it wasn't just me that heard that. Because I heard that, going with a bunch of your friends, I heard full-on multiplayer. Now, I mean, you could read into that if you want, but he literally said that you could spend time preying on other players. That sounds to me like PvP. What do you think? Definitely not crazy? That's what it sounds like. That, to me, folks, sounds like PvP. That sounds like full-on multiplayer. We didn't see or really find out anything new about No Man's Sky other than multiplayer. There it is. He also talked a lot about the idea that this is what they wanted the game to be. Now, sometimes Sean talks, and sometimes when Sean says things, he says things and they're a little general, or they're nebulous, or they're hyperbolic. And I'm really glad to see him again. I'm really glad that he has formulated the cojones to not only come back into the public sphere of things and literally come back into the fold. Because, again, this is his first appearance on a stream like this since before the launch of since before his stream of No Man's Sky on launch day or the day before launch. So takes massive balls after that launch and after all the stigma that No Man's Sky has. So kudos to that man for doing that. I think that's really cool of him to do. And to come back and talk about multiplayer, right? We've been calling for multiplayer. I remember that embarrassing stream from DM21 Gaming, or that video, PvP confirmed. So that video sort of is now retroactively vindicated, right? And I want to go back to the GameSpot video that he did with Danny O'Dwyer about 2 years before launch. I think it was 2 years. It was either 1 year or 2 years before launch. But he said not everything was going to be in the game at launch. I feel like a lot of people forgot that, including me. Like Cobra TV, he went back and literally watched this stuff and was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Now, of course, anybody could have taken that kind of video in any kind of context, but to me, if you take it literally, that means No Man's Sky is going to launch a certain way. Not all of this shit's going to be in it. And now, there it is, right? You've got this thing, right? Here comes all these updates. We're going to continue to support it like Minecraft. He said that. He also said, we have this plan for multiplayer. We are not going to talk about it now, but there is a plan for a more traditional multiplayer. Now, when you talk about multiplayer, you have to separate multiplayer typically in this industry into two categories: co-op and adversarial. That's at least how I separate those things. You've got co-op, you've got adversarial, and the difference is that you're just running around with a bunch of your friends. And then, of course, adversarial, player versus player, killing each other, blowing each other up, all that stuff. You know, it's easy to come out and say Sean Murray's a liar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, he very well might have. We might be missing the complete context because just before launch, or shortly before launch, we know that Hello Games was running out of money. He came out and he said that at GDC earlier. I think it was, I don't know if it was earlier in the year or if it was just shortly after Atlas Rises. But the studio was running out of money. There it is. So I'm looking for the launch. I'm looking to see what No Man's Sky Next does, right? Because clearly there's more to it than just simply multiplayer. And for those of you that have not played since launch, I want you all to really keep in mind there's been so much that has changed about No Man's Sky that you maybe don't know of or didn't pay attention to, whether it deliberately or you just moved on with your life and you did other things. It's very, very important to know that not only have they added a lot of the things that they promised that they didn't deliver on since launch, they added way more than that. Like, here's some items that they weren't promising beforehand. They weren't promising base building. They weren't promising vehicles. None of those things were talked about. They were not talking about extra graphical and enhancements. They grew the textures, or they improved the textures. The frame rate has been improved. I play on PS4 Pro, and it's damn near 60 frames all the time, unless shit gets really busy on the screen. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that they have done to this game. Suit inventory full. Thanks, Johnny. Good to see y'all here. It's I don't mind managing a little of inventory. I play a lot of Minecraft, and there's an inventory. I just that's something that was vastly improved as well with Atlas Rises. I believe it was Atlas Rises, or it might have been Pathfinder 2, but they did a huge improvement to inventory. Now you've got like sort of a sub inventory where you can hold a lot more things. You can grow your inventory. You can stack items. So your inventory is much more manageable. So inventory is much better than it was at launch. So they've done a lot of improvements. So some of the things like now in the multiplayer that they promised before launch is in the game as well, right? They said that you could see other players. There it is. You can do that now. Yes, you can store item, Johnny. You can build a base either on a planet surface or in a freighter. You can buy freighters now, large, gigantic freighters, and then you can build a base in the freighter. To which you can have storage units that you can store your items in. I think it's up to 10 storage units, up 8 or 10 storage units. But you can hold a shit ton of stuff. And those are storage units. That's not counting the inventory of the actual freighter. So the freighter has its own inventory. Depending on the freighter, it could be small or large. But you can build your own base and expand the inventory that way too. So inventory is way more manageable now, more so than it was before. So there's been a lot of improvements to the game. If you have not played it since launch, give it another go. And of course, with next coming around, full-on multiplayer, y'all. Full-on multiplayer. I'm super excited for that. Looks like it's like a 4-player type squad. If I go by the leaked box art that we just had a couple of days ago. Super cool. Hey Peter, good to see you. So yeah, that's all we learned today. It looks like the interviewer was trying to push him for a little more, but they didn't. And they just sort of let him go. I'd have been like, bro, come on, stop hitting me with all this garbage, all these platitudes, and just tell me what's next. What's going on? What is next? What does that mean? Multiplayer will definitely help. I agree. I love single player games and I love the feeling of being alone. But then there's a dynamic that No Man's Sky could definitely explore by adding multiplayer. I was part of the No Man's Sky gathering day. I forget the name of it right off the top of my head, but there was one meeting spot where there were servers and servers and servers full of people, up to 16 people at once. And they were only like orbs. They're not actual player models, but it was good, man. Like meeting with other people on planets for the first time at a portal was pretty cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So my thoughts about that is we're about to get something super awesome. There's not a lot of depth to No Man's Sky at launch, but they certainly added to those things. But we got to be honest here. Like, No Man's Sky has never been a game for everyone. And I don't believe it ever will be a game for everyone, right? It is a certain type of game. There are certain types of games out there that are not for me, right? The Witcher. Those are fantastic games, I hear, right? But I could never get so much into them that I could continue playing them. The Souls games, right? Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Let's be honest. That's not a game for everyone, right? I absolutely hate fighting games. I hate fighting games with a passion because of button combos and things like that. They're not for me. The genre is not for me. No Man's Sky is like that. Not everybody likes Minecraft. Not everybody likes Starbound. And I think that's okay, right? There are games that I just don't think are for me. Now, the way the game was presented at the beginning of the day, it could have been for everybody, and it just turned out to not be, right? The way it was marketed and things like that. Everybody was interested, but it came to the realization at launch that, hey, this is not a game for me, Johnny, as far as story, there was a 30-hour story campaign added to it. It's still kind of obscure, but it's interesting. It's really cool. There's still a lot of lore into it, but there is an actual campaign where you're literally following the story. So yes, I thought it was pretty cool too. I finished it just shortly after the launch of the update, and it's worth looking at. Starbound is trash and Terraria is better. Somebody ban him. Ban Sea of Thy Soul. I'm just kidding. I don't think I have a moderator in here. LZ watched your streams in NNS and started playing the game. Love it. One of the best games I've ever played. I intend on starting streams again more regularly. The fact that I didn't stream a whole lot because I could not stream with a good bit rate and a good frame rate. I absolutely hated the fact, as a matter of fact. But now I have moved, and now I have fiber internet. And as you could see, the stream is looking pretty clear. At least I hope it is. I haven't been paying too much attention to that, but I think it's clear, it's fluid. I'm happy for that. I can play games and stream them online and have them look really clear now. So yeah, I think if you're on the fence about No Man's Sky, stay there. It's okay. Totally cool to stay there. You should. Wait till we get more details on what next is. And I have a very good feeling that's coming very, very, very shortly. If it hasn't come right now. Like, I'm watching my Twitter feeds and stuff still. I'm just watching to see if I haven't missed anything, because I've been yammering on this whole time. But let me see here. Some details on next. Team up with a friend or a small group of explorers. You can build bases together, from little shelters to complex colonies spread out across multiple planets, dogfighting, races in exocrabs, and more. So I'm seeing some other things here. Some people disappointing with the lack of information. I really think that I'm not shocked that Sean didn't put out a bunch of information for it, because we still have Waking Titan running. So supposedly there's more to come in the next few days. I can't wait to hear about that. Waking Titan is firing up pretty hard, Nick Bull. So can you play offline still? Brendan, that's a great question. And I think that goes to a lot of some of the complaints about multiplayer, because there's some people in the No Man's Sky community that doesn't want multiplayer. Or they're like, I don't want multiplayer, screw this multiplayer thing. And I'm like, as long as they let you play offline still, I'm cool with that, right? If it's an option, all right, that's fine. If you don't want to play online, you can always unplug your Ethernet cord and go about your day. It is an exploration game, and it's good. It does very well at that. Sean's too scared to say too much. Johnny Two Fingers, if you didn't know, there's actually a Waking Titan ARG that's being ran right now that is actually slowly filtering out information, and the community is solving the ARG together. So I'm not surprised that they haven't given too much information out now, because they want to let the ARG play out. The ARG has a huge following. So I went into this thinking, and that was originally I wasn't going to stream this, right? Because I'm just like, they'll show a box art, and here's a special edition Xbox console or something like that. And I wasn't that concerned about it. But then Waking Titan fired off, and now we had the last 5 glyphs, pretty much the end of the ARG essentially, just begin like an hour or two before this stream started. So it's coming to a head, y'all. It's coming. What's up, Game Mode? Good to see you, good friend. I am your friend, yes, and you are mine. But no, I'm honestly not surprised that they haven't revealed too much. But No Man's Sky multiplayer, that's a megaton, y'all. That's huge, because a lot of people were asking for this. So I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited, and I'm happy to see Sean healthy and out in the group and doing things in public again. Because man, they went hermit after launch really hard. As a matter of fact, Waking Titan, the ARG, was created just so they didn't have to talk that much with the community, man. Because the internet, man, the internet is a shitty place. It's a shitty, judgmental, horrifying place on Twitter and in communities and stuff like that. So you have to think, as a developer, I would think the same thing too, right? I would agree with that. I would be petrified of the community for sure. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gonna probably download this thing, and I'm probably going to re-upload this reaction and put out something a little bit more thoughtful. here in a little bit. I'm going to take the little girl out so we can have some dinner, and she's outside playing right now. She abandoned me earlier. She was my stream partner. But asking for multiplayer is just players demanding what was promised. Now, see, that's a good point because multiplayer wasn't specifically promised. They promised a feature where you could see other players. Now, of course, that was not present at launch. Totally agree. But the way it was the way it was positioned back in those days was it was positioned as you get to see each other. That's it. There's no killing each other. It's not a huge thing to... It's not that big a deal, right? It's not that much of a thing. So now that that came with Atlas Rises, by the way. Since Atlas Rises about a year ago, or a little less than a year ago, you're too nice. You're right. I'm objective. I criticized the hell out of Sean Murray and Hello Games when this game launched. As a matter of fact, I received a review copy of the game directly from Sony and actually did a review of the game on my channel. And I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I wasn't watching Twitter or anything like that. But then, I started to notice with the game, I wasn't finding any players. Not that I was trying too hard, but there was just shit that wasn't in the game as I was playing it, preparing for my review. And then I go to look on Twitter, and I go to look on other YouTube videos and things like that. I spent about 3 days, or no, I spent about, I want to say about 12 hours playing the game before I really went back to the internet to go, hey, what's going on? And I see all these news stories. Hey, these people met in the same location. They couldn't see each other. I saw other stuff too, like where's all these features? Where's all these things? Where's all these structures and all these, what's going on with the AI? The game was a mess when it launched. It must have locked up on me about half a dozen times in my 12 hours or so of capturing footage. But I actually made the conscious decision to not put out my review of the game until a few days later so that I could get my teeth more into it. Maybe I was missing something, but I do what I can to be objective about things, right? Now, if anybody knows me who has ever followed me on Twitter when something like Far Cry 4 launched, I was not nice to Ubisoft. I was not nice to the Far Cry 4 dev team. I was furious when that game launched because they lied by omission to a lot of the multiplayer and map editor fan base for that game. Oh yeah, we can't wait till you see the map editor. It's gonna be great. Yeah, there's vehicles in the multiplayer. Woohoo! And then the game launches. There's no multiplayer for the map editor at all. So, yeah, like that. Yeah, I was pissed. I lost my shit. Alex Hutchinson finally blocked me on Twitter after I took his ass to task so many times. But at the end of the day, it's all about how you perceive things and how you catch things and how you hear these things. I don't know why No Man's Sky launched like it did, but I know it did, and I know I still like the game, even at launch. But I know there's a lot of opportunity, man, and I cannot blame the gaming industry too much for being critical of that. If they would have just came out and said, hey, we fucked up, it wasn't to our quality, we hit a deadline, we had to, we had to, but we're gonna fix it, right? Silence maybe isn't the thing, So, yeah, I'm going to stop the stream here. I'm going to probably re-upload this in a better fashion, I would say. Something a little more a little more thoughtful tonight. But this was my reaction. Great stream, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. And we're probably going to hear some more stuff here in the coming days. So, I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. Good to see y'all. And we'll see you later with some more streams. By the way, I've got a green screen again, but I've got to install it here. I've got to do some Tim Allen type work to get it put in there. But thank you all, and I'll see you all later.